Once upon a time, a daughter complained to her father that her life was miserable and that she didn't know how she was going to make it. She was tired of fighting and struggling all the time. It seemed just as one problem was solved, another one soon followed. Her father, a chef, listened patiently to her complaints. Instead of giving a direct answer, he decided to show her something that might help her understand. He took her to the kitchen, where he filled 3 pots with water and placed each on a high fire. Once the 3 pots began to boil, he carefully placed potatoes in one pot, eggs in the second pot, and ground coffee beans in the third pot. He let them sit and boil, without saying a word to his daughter. She stood there, confused, watching as the water in all 3 pots bubbled and steamed. She wondered why he wasn't explaining anything, and as the minutes passed, her impatience grew. After about 20 minutes, the father turned off the burners. He removed the potatoes from the pot and placed them in a bowl. Then he took the eggs out and carefully placed them in a second bowl. Finally, he ladled the coffee out of the third pot and placed it in a cup. Turning to his daughter, he asked, "Daughter, what do you see?" "Potatoes, eggs, and coffee," she replied hastily, not understanding what this had to do with her troubles. Her father nodded, but then said, "Look closer," guiding her to examine each of the items. He asked her to touch the potatoes first. She did and noted that they were soft now. He then asked her to take an egg, break it open, and examine the inside. After she peeled off the shell, she observed the hard-boiled egg inside. Finally, he asked her to sip the coffee. As she took a small sip, the rich aromatic flavor brought a smile to her face. "Father, what does this mean?" she asked, still unsure of the lesson. The father then explained that the potatoes, the eggs, and the coffee beans had each faced the same adversity, the boiling water. However, each one reacted differently to the heat. The potato, which had started out strong, hard, and unrelenting, had turned soft and weak in the boiling water. It had lost its initial strength and toughness when exposed to the challenge. The egg, which had been fragile, with a thin outer shell protecting its liquid interior, had undergone a transformation in the boiling water. The inside had hardened, becoming solid and unyielding. However, the ground coffee beans were unique. When they were exposed to the boiling water, they didn't change in the same way as the potato or the egg. Instead of becoming weaker or harder, the coffee beans changed the water itself. They infused it with their flavor, transforming the entire pot of water into something entirely new. The father turned to his daughter and asked, "Which one are you?" He looked at her with a thoughtful gaze, waiting for her to reflect on the lesson. When adversity knocks on your door, how do you respond? Are you a potato, an egg, or a coffee bean? His daughter stood still for a moment, processing the question. The lesson her father was teaching her was clear now. In life, things happen around us, things happen to us, but the only thing that truly matters is how we choose to react to it and what we make out of it. When we face challenges, we can choose to be like the potato, letting adversity weaken us. We can choose to be like the egg, letting hardship harden us and make us more guarded. Or we can choose to be like the coffee bean, using the challenges to transform and improve ourselves and the world around us. The father smiled at her, proud of the understanding that was beginning to dawn in her eyes. It was a lesson that would stay with her for the rest of her life. In the face of adversity, it wasn't about how hard life was. It was about what she made of it, how she chose to grow, and how she allowed her circumstances to shape her into something stronger, wiser, and more resilient.